What is social proof? And how do we use it intelligently in a way to influence people to do the things that are better for them? And again, the presupposition is here, if we're trying to influence someone, we're trying to influence them for the better, not for the worse.
Okay, I wrote 3 things I won't forget. So in a way, one of the reasons people are willing to pay a lot to put an ad on Facebook compared to other medium is the understanding that if your friend tells you you should buy this thing versus if Samsung tells you should buy this thing, you immediately have expectations that Samsung is trying to give you something that you might not need because their interest is for you to buy. But if your friend tells you that, their interest is your interest. So people are willing to pay a lot more for Facebook ads because if your friend tells you, I clicked it, or if an influencer says, I'm using it, we like it, that is why influencing is so popular, because you kind of trust someone who's on the same, in your bubble, more than you trust someone that you deem a marketing person. So the idea of all marketing right now is somehow to penetrate your bubble and get someone in your sphere to tell you you should buy that. If I can make your best friend tell you those are the best headphones, buy them, then whoever sells the headphones did a good job because they managed to penetrate the world of marketing and get you to do something. So that is...
And what's interesting, the data reflects that, because what the data tells us is clicks from shared content are 5 times more likely to result in a sale than clicks from a piece of content that hasn't been shared by someone in their network. That's 500%. Exactly right. That's fucking powerful.
Yeah. So we get that. So now take it to the extreme. This means that the world of marketing is interested in creating bubbles and knowing who's in the bubble and controlling them. So everyone's interest right now is in having you talk to people like you, or that can influence you, or that share ideas with you, and then for someone on the outside to know, okay, I can draw a circle around this group and find one person there and make him or her start kind of communicating my ideas. So everything is about creating small clusters and understanding them. Now, this was happening all the time anyhow. Tribes were formed, countries were formed, communication was formed, but through the power of social media, through the power of technology, this now is on steroids. Everyone is always part of some group. Facebook clusters you, Twitter clusters you, all companies segment you. You're always, for everyone, part of a segment. The segments become smaller. It might be just you and 2 other people that are in this, but we know that if we make this person tell you that, you're going to be influenced. So the one advice I would have, control it yourself. Decide who you want to be influenced by. How do you do that? You look at the people around you and you say, who I consistently am aligned with. When they say something and I do that, I feel happy. When I say something, they listen. There are people like that in everyone's sphere. Choose them, tell them, you and I are now part of this group that I'm going to use for this and that idea, and then spend more time physically with these people. Now, I know that right now physically is a bit of a hard thing, but generally what we know is that the brain tunes quickly to interactions with people that it sits next to. So if you and I spend a lot of time talking to each other, we will start using the same words. We will nod our head roughly at the same time. We would use the same jargon to describe ideas that only we know. We'll have internal jokes. We'll develop our own little tribe. So if you choose the people that you want to be like, you have more control over which ideas influence you, how much, and kind of how to stop them. And I think that's something that up to now happened to us. And I think that the world around us requires us to start choosing that. We have to choose who we want. So the parallel, the simple one is that you choose who to follow on Twitter or on Facebook. I think you should choose that in real life as well.
Absolutely. And I'm seeing it fractionalized on social media because, once upon a time, in order to be influential on social media, it was just having a big presence. But what we're now discovering is there's less activity on main feeds, there's more activity in groups, which in itself is a form of, selective segmentation at a community level. And we're seeing, and that's why obviously Facebook is pushing groups as such a strong medium, because they're seeing such a high level of engagement within groups versus people just engaging in general.
I'll give you
Moran,
science. Can I drop science for like a
Talk
minute?
science. Let's get nerdy.
I think it would be useful if I sound like a scientist at the end. So I'll say that. We have studies that look at a specific problem in marketing that is interesting to a lot of your customers. It's called in marketing the cold start problem. And it goes like that. If you've been a user of Facebook for the last year, Facebook knows a lot about you. So if you stop using it for a while, Facebook can say, okay, something is not right with him. Let's blast him with some promotion so he would use it more. Or maybe he's about to leave us. So let's kind of see if we can give him more exciting things in the feed. If they have enough data about you, they can do things when things change with you. But what happens on day one? You just joined Facebook on day one. We know nothing about you. What can we do then? So it turns out, and this is the research that we've been doing in the last couple of years, if I know nothing about you, if you just joined an app today, you joined a service today, but I know something about your friends, we can actually predict a lot about your behavior on the platform 1 month, 2 months, 6 months in the future, just by seeing how they act on that. This means that companies right now should not only collect data about their users when they use the app and kind of try to infer who they are, but also try as best as they can to know something about your social network. As soon as you join, and look at your triangle, we call that, the 3 people that you talk to, and whether they talk to themselves, average those and make predictions about you. And the science shows that you are extremely accurately predictable if I look at the average of people on the platform that you just joined that were there before you for a few weeks. Science.
I love it.
There you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Unstoppable with me, your host, Kerwin Ray. And please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you get to see all of these interviews in the flesh. Share this podcast with your friends. I would love to hear what you guys think. Thanks for joining us.